Hey everybody, today's Friday, the 29th of January 2021. My name is Kevin and this is your morning message and meditation. I hope you're well. I hope everything in your world is going well and you're getting ready for what seems to be or forecast to be a chilly weekend, at least here in the mid-Atlantic. Atlantic. That sounds so posh, doesn't it? All right, so what's going on today in my world? Got some coffee. Mm, that's good. I've experimented with coffee and I go through a like and a dislike with it, depends on the day. Just this morning I was thinking, I might switch over to going back to the old uh English tea, the hot tea. Don't know why. I just do that once in a while, shake things up. Well, so my electronical devices, as they say, wasn't syncing today. So typically I have all my iCloud things turned on. So when I take a picture with the iPhone, it uploads to the cloud. Well, today that wasn't happening for some reason. Even though I went through and looked at the settings and checked and rechecked, it's like, digital world is not paying attention, which is fine. It's all good. And I'll get to the cards in a minute. Yesterday, I did not get word of whether or not I am moving. So I just have to assume that all things at Tower Point Drive, where my little studio is a no go for today. And that's fine. There's something about being held or suspended or I can't. The word "stuck" is not really appropriate for what I'm about to say, but it's the word that pops up. Suspended between one place and the next. Typically, how we are cultured, it would send a spanner in the works. I'm lucky enough and fortunate enough to work on real estate agents who I don't know how they do their job because at any given moment there's a swerve in the road, a curve in the road, and a delay of some sort. Floating, Megan Bonville says. Yes, floating, floating. So in those moments of floating, um, um, there's an opportunity to re-examine or examine everything that is in progress. And I'm not an astrologer, but there's a theory behind Mercury going retrograde, which I believe it's done or about to do. There's also a theory that don't sign contracts, don't enter into agreements while Mercury's retrograde. I wouldn't say that exactly. I would say it's an opportunity to review, revisit, look at, and evaluate if this is indeed what is meant to occur. And in broader senses, the planets that retrograde, stall, if you will, pause, float, does bring that up. That not everything is meant to be whoosh, whoosh, rush, rush, go, go, go. There has to be a pause, which is leading to my cards and the energy of today. Yesterday afternoon, I was delighted to take a seminar through the people at Hay House. You might have heard of it, you might have seen it, you might have even subscribed to it. Kyle Gray offered a free angel workshop, a 1 hour webinar seminar on Zoom. I like them. You can learn anything and everything from them, from what I call these masters in their field. They're accomplished. Kyle Gray's an author. He's on Instagram. And he has a lot of really good information to share um, about connecting with angels. And one of the things that he talked about initially was that there is a thought and a theory that only certain types of people can access this information, meaning psychic, medium work, the vibrational energy, the source energy, the divine energy, all of those things. Well, that's not true. The energy, the source energy, the information that we get, that we want, that we download, that we have, is accessible to everybody at any time. It just takes commitment to being open to it and consistency to practice what you need to practice to be up for it. And so later on in the seminar, Kyle suggested that those that were on the call, that those that were signing up for this information were indeed being called to do something bigger. Well, that set off in me all those goosebumps again, that I get, hair standing on my neck and different things that I now realize are part of a bigger picture, part of a different energy that's here, that's working, that's pushing or gently guiding, and to get to an understanding. Well, how do you know that your angels are here, or how do you know that your angels have come, or how do you know that spirit guides are around? For me, it's always been when I've got quiet, when I've got still, and big indication is when the animals begin to stir and start acting different, because they've got senses deeper, bigger, further than what we've got. How on earth a dog is able to sense when their owner's about to be ill, or when there's something not quite right, or I get their sense of smell, for locating cadavers, etc., or locating people that may be alive or dead. Understand that, but then obviously there are other senses, and then it landed me on, okay, animals, situations, it's all vibrational energy, and we're part of that vibrational energy, which is why we get the information and why we get the messages that we get. And the intuition, which is the transmission, if you will, that's never gone. It's never not been part of who we are. It's never not been around. The antenna. What happens when we take a human form, it's almost impossible. It's not impossible, but almost impossible to fit all of that higher vibrational energy into the lower vibrational ways of being able to work with this physical body, the arms, the legs, and the muscles, and all of this. And I've got goosebumps, so I know I'm on. Every time I get, it's like a wave. It's like a wave, sort of like someone running their fingers down my back or around here. It's a love tap, I like to call it. And as the more you become aware of it, because I don't know that they talk about it being awakened or awakened to the information or the energy. Well, I think that we are awake all the time. It's just that part of ourselves, a bit like a muscle. It's not accessed, utilized, used very much. Let's face it, when you're a child, you're listening to folks who raise you and are around you. You have to learn to perform physical tasks in the physical world: reading, writing, adding up, subtracting, other languages, other people, other cultures, all of this stuff. It's our physical, it's lower vibrational, but it's how you use this vehicle to get from A to B. And at some point, and it's usually between the ages of 8 and 12, this minor awakening comes up, this little bit of, how did that happen? And there's no explanation for it. And then it continues. And then we continue to grow emotionally, fall in love, fall out of love. Then there's that whole acceptance, rejection, being love, feeling love, wanting love, love, all over the place. And that first time we have that deep feeling of loving another individual, which is beyond what we can explain, the unconditional part of having that open heart for other people, and it's not reciprocated, it's not given back. Somebody doesn't turn around and love us back the same way, not because they don't have the capacity for it, it's not matched up, it's not lined up, not their fault, but because other people that we're around have experienced it, the unrequited, um, mismatched stuff. We make it mean that that person's whatever they are, whatever they have been. And it's the same token that you'll get an example right around the corner where, you know what, you don't really care for this person and they're madly in love with you. They're obsessive. They can't stop, talking, thinking, all this. These are how we learn consistently. Now, I'm not talking about stalking. That's a whole nother matter. I'm talking about just that feeling of loving a person and wanting them to love you back and they don't, and then someone loving you and you not wanting to love them back, the same thing. How do I get on the subject of love? Oh, angels. So how do you know the angels are here? Well, they have to be invited in. They've got to be asked. It's not like they just show up. Yes, they do. In times of big events where they have to protect you, where they have to pull you from whatever, wreckage, situations, and I've heard several stories, my own included, that when it was getting tough, it was time to go. It was time to leave the earth. You were in that life-threatening place, and you've got a choice. You can go through to the other side and live your life as a spirit, as a guide, or you can come back and do the work you want to do, the purpose you want to do, and you get lined up. So there's always this choice. Always, 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 always. Angels, for the most part, in higher spirit guides, really need to be invited in to work with you, to help you, to guide you. And that takes a little bit of getting quiet, getting peaceful, and using these gentle rocking pauses where things aren't working, things aren't coming together the way they should. Those are the opportunities that we have to take a step back and get quiet, meditate, clear the dramatic situations, the stories, close down the ratchet, I call it, the ratchet nonsense of clatter chatter, close all that down. And just get quiet. And then in the stillness, you can simply ask, literally ask, for guidance from higher energy, spirits, your higher guides. When I say higher, it's a bit like whatever you believe God is, that I believe is source energy, the energy that creates everything from a blade of grass to a grain of dirt to a moon. That energy that got created by what is, I commonly call it God, universe, whatever that power, source energy is. That's what I personally believe is everything. And so to access it, or to know that you're part of it, or to open up to it, requires a certain amount of respect for yourself and respect for the source. And that also creates balance. So if you're looking, and this is where these cards come in, I should really just show them because it's quite something. Strength and Guidance was the first one I pulled. This to me reminds me of Archangel Metatron, very highly ascended archangel that at one point lived in human form and ascended. And in some Hebrew history books, it talks about how, I've forgotten what the name of this angel was when it was in human form. but it's listed in lots of old scriptures. But basically, it's talking about how, most of these archangels don't sit. You stand in front of God, apparently. But this archangel, was seated because God invited him to sit at the side of God. The other one that popped up, my wisdom card, was Keeper of the Scales, fairness and balance. And what I got from this is we're all, if we're on this, doing this, we're all being called for some reason or another, a purpose. And there'll be some purposes that you'll fly right on through and think, oh yeah, this feels right. And others, you might be stumped on wondering, well, what is my purpose? What am I supposed to do? It wouldn't really be a life or a path or an existence if we got all of the answers and all of everything plopped right out in front of you. I don't know if I would like that, to be honest. I think I'm enjoying this ride of discovery of, oh, this is what we do, this is where we go. When you show up and you have a purpose to share, to teach, I did not believe in my 30s that I had the qualifications to teach. And then I was reminded that God qualifies those who are called. He doesn't call those who feel like they're qualified. So the qualifications come, and I also learned from the same beautiful mystic woman, you're qualified before the certificate arrives in the mail. Before you get that sign off, you're already qualified. You're already doing the work that it takes to get it. The challenge is the ego gets in the way and wants to stay comfortable. Wants to stay a permanent student, which we really are. We're all a permanent student of life. We never really, truly, honestly graduate from this journey that we're on, because there's always something that pops in that shifts it. What I wanted to shift away from, that I was finding was just a drain, was all of this negativity, all of this anger, all of this distress, this just feeling that we have to pick a side. We have to choose a way forward. And there really only is two. There's the love, the honesty, the gratitude, the living in harmony with each other, the helping each other, all of that openness, knowing that when you want something, there it is. You didn't know where it came from, and somebody gave it to you. Well, now you're like, oh yeah, good, okay, fine. And you'll get your chance when somebody else needs something. You see somebody, they're struggling at the checkout at the grocery, and they're telling the person, oh, you probably need to put that back. Don't assume they don't have any money, just assume they need it, and for some other reason they're not choosing it. Well, here, $5, buy it, if you want it. Because really, it's all the same. Source energy. Money, source energy. Bills are source energy. The roof on your head is source energy. The earth on your feet is source energy. This is what I believe. And that must mean that you and I are source energy. We are creating that energy. So the keeper of the scales is fairness and balance. And all that is to say, harmony begins from within. So if you are looking, strength and guidance, our friend, Metatron, I call this one because I feel like that's what that represents to me. And then our keeper of the scales says, you're on a pathway moving forward. You've got a purpose, open to it. Don't have to work out all the details right now. Just know that whatever's happening, whatever pauses are coming up, whatever information's coming up, just take the time to know that you're on the right path and that you've got help from spirit, help from God, help from whatever energy source is beyond you, is connected to you, working through you all the time. Once you realize there is that level of support, that there's not anything that could go wrong. Things do just back up, turn the corner. It didn't quite work out. Doesn't mean we have to get ourselves up in a lather about it, start panicking, start getting, oh my goodness, like people did last year where they bought God knows how much toilet paper. I thought, well, this is just bizarre. But that's what people do. And I've noticed in my observation, like my little antenna over this way to see, I'm always curious. Why are they just pushing this fear stuff in people's face? Oh, yeah, got it, makes money. If I can convince you that your hair is going to fry up, burn off, and fall in the trash, you'll buy 5 bottles of my shampoo. It's good shampoo. I like it. I like the way it smells. I like the way my hair feels. It's affordable. It feels luxurious. It smells good. But that doesn't mean to say I've got this expectation the world must line up at my doorstep and buy it all. I'm not going to convince people that, you know what, your hair's going to crimple up and do all these crazy things if you don't use it. That's up to them. That's their choice. It's there. It's available. That's what I feel about everything. Yeah, done. So, if you find that your life is out of balance, out of whack, there's some areas of it that are full of negativity, darkness, things you don't want, like it gives you anxiety, gives you something, and it's on you, and you feel out of whack, then you have to get the keeper of the scales to find the fairness and balance from the inside to work it out. And for that, you can ask spirit guides and angels to come. So how do you do that? You just call upon the archangels. What do I do? A prayer. This came from Carl. If you get to Carl Gray UK on Instagram, if you click on his Instagram page, he's got a bunch of pictures that look like this. And he's got decks that are all part of this, right? The Oracle deck. The card that goes with this has this prayer to it, the prayer of protection, that you can download. It's basically what I did with this. In his mind, and I don't really think, here's the thing. There's some people that are going to have opinions about other people. If you're drawn to something and if you're lined up with something and you feel, oh, I think like this makes sense to me, then that's what you're meant to pay attention to. It isn't that we're supposed to pitch, that's wrong, no, that's right, no, they're right, no, they're right. It's all the same. Where it gets a little bit naughty is when you feel and you know that what you're being sold or told is a form of manipulation. That's where somebody wants to push something again on you to get you to do something. So when you're faced with that and you feel it, the intuition goes ding, 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 bells go off. And as you begin to lift your vibration, and that's what is lifting the vibration? How do you do it? Use music. Get to the feeling you got to whenever you felt like there was nothing you could do wrong, that life was just too much fun. It's the feeling you might get when you pull the top down on a convertible and you play this music loud like you couldn't stand it. That's that feeling of lifting vibration, of having fun. And when you get to that effervescence, when you get to all of that, then you're on that higher frequency. Then you're in this, everything's moving, everything's going. You feel goosebumps, you feel all tingly, your energy just picks up. That's the feeling. That's the feeling you get in the little niggly bits when your angels are around, your spirits are around, they're pushing you forward, they're in your cheering section, say, you go. You go, you go, you go. We got you, we got you. When you're looking for that thing that you can't find, when you want that car, when you need that house, when you meet that person you're going to spend the rest of your life with, woof, those feelings come. See, and I got goosebumps everywhere. That's a recognition that you're on the right path with the right people, doing the right thing, and the world is good. So, you may come across some folks, a lot of folks, that are they're used to being down that back alley. That's not a good place. You get that feeling. You know, you go in a room and there's something off about what's in that room. You get in a situation and something doesn't feel right. This is all on that seminar I got to yesterday, which was information I already knew, but it was all scattered. It was all like, oh, I need to put that in its place. I need to get rid of the clutter. I think I talked about that the other day, cleaning out the clutter, removing what needs to be removed. Your life's evolving. You're evolving. You're going from thing to thing, place to place, situation to situation. And there's going to come a time where you have to discard what holds you back, not hold on to it. Not say, well, I don't really want to donate that or get rid of that because I might need it someday. You won't. If you feel like you've passed it, that's done. It's gone past its sell-by date and its usefulness. It's time to let somebody else use it and move on. The quicker you release the stuff from the past or the attachment to it, the faster you find that growth and harmony and moving forward. All right, let's read from the book, Melody Beattie's book, and then I'll do that prayer for you before we go into meditation. Yes. This feels right. And we're just going to move right on into the 29th of this book. Seek peace is what it says. And that might be what we're all looking for, a bit of peace, right? This is from Melody Beattie. She wrote a journal, page a day for a year. So this is following her journey and the affirmation she was getting to share. Seek peace. I drove down the winding road into Kings Canyon, California, not knowing what to expect. The road took me past lavender hills and ended alongside a rushing, roaring river, spilling over with white water froth. Beware of turbulent waters, a sign warned. I parked the car and stepped outside, taking in the scenery. Soon I knew I felt where this road had led. It led to peace. Cultivate peace, commit to peace, insist on it. Don't settle for peace based on outward circumstances or a particular arrangement in your life. Drive down the winding road and find the peace that prevails amidst the mountains, now purple in the setting sun. Find the peace that prevails even when turbulent waters of river roar through your life. This is the peace the universe offers. Settle for nothing less. It's interesting that we should be living in a time of such turbulence, such unrest, such stuff. And those of us that are looking for the peace, that are finding the peace through the meditation, through the prayer, through the asking for it, through the seeking of it, naturally lift and naturally feel guided and drawn. And there will be a time where some of us might feel a little bit weird about sharing it, about telling other people what we're up to. I mean, I know myself, that psychic medium work I do, I kept that hidden. It was underneath. It only popped out once in a while. I knew I had a gift. I knew I could do it. I wasn't using it because I felt like, people are going to think I'm weird. And that's the other part of lifting the vibration. As long as you begin to accept yourself as source energy and accept that you're part of something bigger than what most people can see or be aware of, that's all you need to worry about. And usually I've discovered the naysayers and the doubters, the ones that might think this is a bit weird or strange, are actually looking for validation because it woke something up in themselves. And they're not necessarily wanting to chastise it, act against it. They're curious about it. So you don't have to change what you're doing. You don't have to become something else or hide it. You just have to allow that curiosity to percolate and ruminate until the person, when nobody else is watching, because we all do this without being aware what other people really would do it when no one's watching initially, because it's different. It's very intimate. And there's folks out there that have an issue with intimacy. Shouldn't, but they do, because of what we're told and what we're taught. That only certain people can do certain things. Well, that's not true. We can do it all. We just have to be open, consistent, practice, and know that it's there. All right, time to meditate. This morning, I think what I'm going to do is really start with that prayer of protection and then go on a little journey with you, visualization, if that's all right. So I love this, my little bowl, which before I get settled in here with all of you, I typically, light a little candle. I need to get a new one because this one's got mucky with the soot. But I like yellow. Yellow's, to me, fun, sunshiny. And then just tap on this. I got this in Asheville, a little Himalayan store that sits on a corner. But you can find them anywhere. You can actually get crystal ones. I turn that camera over that way, you can see that green one there, and I've got a red one somewhere. They make a different noise. I'll drag those out at some point. And then you just literally tap the side of it. You get that vibration. It's sort of that one that for me works with me. I felt like, oh, that's good. They all make a different noise. And then I just take my striker, I suppose you want to call it, run it around the edge. Bring your feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes and breathe. Bring the breath in. As you bring the breath in from the room, from the environment that you're in, imagine that the air you're breathing in, the air that's coming to you, is coming from above, way above your head. Open up your center. Know that you're the bridge between the heaven and the earth supporting you, grounding you, keeping you stable, keeping you safe, absorbing and removing all the negative toxins from your heart, from your mind, from your joints, letting it go. Just keep breathing and seeing that light coming towards you. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for cutting the unnecessary cords that bind us to people, places, situations, fears, stories, drama, and anything else we no longer need or is serving our purpose. I take the weight of the world off my shoulders. I declare that I am safe and free. Now place your hands on your heart. Keep your eyes closed. You can repeat after me. I am the keeper of my mind and body. Wherever love is present, fear is a stranger, and love is here in me. Now breathe and imagine a bubble of light coming from the heart of God or source energy, and the angels coming towards you, wrapping around you, protecting you. And then finally say, And so it is. And stay focused on the breathing, the energy around you, part of your physical consciousness is anchored in your physical body, being aware of your feet on the floor, your seat in the chair, and your back. Whatever is touching something solid, your consciousness is aware of it. Right down through the center of your being, the middle of your body, along your spinal cord and your spinal column is the eternal flame. That's connecting you to source and energy. This eternal flame and the energy that courses down from the depth of the earth up through the heights of the heavens is the bridge, the energy bridge. The tunnel of information, take your consciousness, your mind, your third eye center into this beautiful light on the inside of you. Let yourself float up into the flame, into the bridge, go up higher. Allow the power of the higher vibration to attract you and lift you. Totally supported. Lift your consciousness up. Ever so carefully, gently. Notice any tingling, warmth, fragrances, sensations that your physical body is experiencing. Let it be as it is, as it should be. This is the presence of your spirit guide and angels. Pay attention to where the sensation is, what the sensation is about. Your guardian angel and your spirit guides have always been with you. And the most direct way to connect to them, to honor them and be with them, is to be grateful and thankful and simply say thank you for being here. With humility and honor and respect that you have, declare your openness to listen, your openness to receive, your willingness and openness to learn. Gently visit with this energy. Know that this source energy is here for you. Each and every time you access this energy, access this meditation, you're raising your vibration, attuning to your higher purpose. Removing what no longer serves you, forgiving what holds you back. This is the work. This is the practice. This is the way to access all that's good within you. As you sit gently with the source energy, you feel the vibration you feel. Listen and be open for whatever message you're offered. Messages come in the form of words, colors, fragrances, visions. You are welcome to continue breathing and visiting in this energy, bathing in the light. You feel complete. You keep the energy centers open as you bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Oh, honoring yourself, honoring your spirits, honoring your angels, honoring the energy that has lifted you, opened you. Lift your thumb knuckles to your third eye center and simply close this session with Namaste. For me, it's that simple. Anytime I've tried to make it complicated, hasn't worked. Too many things to remember, too many things to think about. Which is why Spirit World doesn't want to overcomplicate the process. It's the human experience that gets overcomplicated. Anyway, my friends, thank you for letting me share this with you. It feels right to do it. It feels right to share what's going on in my life and how all this applies. Where it applies, I feel like we're all pretty much similar, having a human experience. And I'm always open to thoughts, beliefs. I will always share what I've learned, where I've learned it, give credit to people who share it with me. And you'll be drawn on your own pathway to learn from your own folks who share something that tweaks your interest, or you may have been asking for signs as to which direction you should go in about certain things. Listen and be open to receive those messages. All right, have a great Friday. I'll be back in tomorrow morning, same time. Lots of love. Bye.